Hello, my name is Helen Alten. I'm the director of the Sheldon Museum and Cultural Center in Haines, Alaska. And the Sheldon Museum is a museum that shows the history and culture of the Chilkat Valley, and that includes the art of the Chilkat Valley. And puppetry falls within our mission in that it is both a cultural phenomenon and an art form. Puppetry is an interesting part of Haines's culture. It's sort of almost an underbelly part. There seem to be quite a number of people involved with it, from high school students on up. My understanding is that puppetry came to Haines as a result of Vern Powers, that he was in Europe, became fascinated with puppetry, and brought some ideas back and talked to doll makers and artists here in Haines and convinced them to start making puppets and to start performing puppets. And we are extremely lucky in Haines to have Vern here and to have someone like him who is so interested in this culture, in the culture of puppetry and the art form of puppetry. He hasn't said this is the only way to do a puppet, but like there's this methodology. He said you can make a puppet from anything, from a fork, from a spool of thread, from a piece of newspaper. You can roll it up and create something. I came in as a new director and I had an empty gallery and I had no exhibit person. So I was looking around town to see what was happening to try to make something that was relevant to the community. And the school was inviting in a puppet maker to do a workshop with kids. So I thought, well, we could do a puppet exhibit around that would complement what the school's doing. And I thought we'd just buy sort of a pre-made exhibit from some organization in the lower 48. And I started calling around and everyone told me I needed to talk to Vern. And so I called Vern up and he said yes. And he put it all together and created this amazing show. It was a real eye-opener for me because it wasn't puppets like you think of puppets in terms of cute little things that no one takes very seriously. This was definitely a show full of passion. People have spent hours and hours on these, days, weeks. It's a show full of passion. Last spring we had the show Strung Up and Reconfigured in the galleries, and it was a show that was almost 75% of it was puppets made in Haines. The project Gravity from Above relates to Haines in some significant ways. Vern's vision is to teach the people in Haines about what puppetry can do for a community. And we're a small community, we have long dark winters, we need things to do in those long dark winters, but there's more to it than that. Puppetry is a way of stepping out of yourself. I think why it's appealed so much to the people of Haines is that it gives them an alternative. We're not big TV watchers, we're not big couch potatoes. We tend to want to be doing something with our time. And this is a way to be creative, it's a way to develop something more that then represents something that you value. So some of the puppet shows that I've seen have some interesting messages. There's and a lot of times there's humor, but there's messages about ethics and morals, and sometimes relatively adult subjects that you don't really expect to see in a puppet show. Some of them appeal to children, but mostly they're adult puppet shows. The thing about what's happened in Haines is that it's almost like a nexus. Vern was the spark, and he went to Europe, he did some filming, he met Paulette Caron, he invited her, she came to Haines twice. For her second trip, when she was doing a workshop at the school, I heard about her, and we then came up with the idea of the exhibit, and then Vern got involved in the exhibit. And from there, we became, for a moment, we became famous. Our town was part of the Alaska news. There was a video about Haines as a town of puppets. The March was Puppet Month, We had puppeteers showing up from outside of our community and doing demonstrations, and it just was a very interesting time. And I think it was a nice coordination of efforts. It really showed how a community can, for me as a museum director, it showed how an exhibit can help spark a community, but also how a community can spark an exhibit. I think if you're from Haines, donating to Gravity from Above will help bring more creativity to Haines. That we're going to see some unusual things. Berg will definitely be presenting his end product here in Haines, and it will spark some new ideas, get some more creativity going, get people thinking along different and interesting lines. I would like to invite those of you who are watching this movie to come to Haines and visit the Sheldon Museum and see some of the treasures that we have. The Chilkat blankets, the art from most of the artists in the Chilkat Valley.